What's up, YouTube? So I've been telling myself for a couple of months now that I was going to start a YouTube channel and, at least for nothing else, try and video and capture, I guess, what I've got going on. I've got a bunch of projects for the winter. My race car just had some issues the other day on Friday night, so we're done for the season. We're going to start doing some upgrades. I've got some engine stuff that's going to get changed. We're going to rewire the car and a bunch of other stuff. So this is just going to be an intro video on what I've got in the shop right now, what I plan on doing, what I think I have coming in the shop in the next couple of weeks or couple of months. And then just kind of show you around, show you what I've got. This is the first video for the channel. So, like I said, our race season's over, so unfortunately, most of the content will be build and different things like that. I'm no camera expert, I'm no welding expert, I'm no engine builder expert, so take what you watch with a grain of salt. This is how I do things. Sorry for the terrible camera work. I haven't really used the GoPro much, so I'll walk you around the shop and kind of show you some of the different stuff. For you guys that don't know me, my name's Josh. This is obviously my shop here at the house, but I'll kind of show you around, show you what we've been working on, what I've got in here now. So let's go. So this is a friend of mine, Josh Clark. This is his 86, I believe, Monte Carlo. So when this car showed up, it was a pretty much bone stock V6 turbo 350, I believe. Still had full interior. It had never been cut apart. It had sat outside and the rag top was kind of nasty and the whole thing was just kind of nasty. But he brought it over, I guess about a year or so ago, and we did all the chassis work on it. We did, we boxed all the frame rails, narrowed the frame rails in the rear. We did a triangulated 4-link conversion, basically out of a Fox body in the back. I'll pick the car up on the lift and kind of show you guys under the car once we go around everything. But it is a stock bottom end, Gen 4 rods and pistons, LS motor, twin turbo. It should be a pretty nasty no prep car. It's been in the works. I mean, I would hope this car should make somewhere around 1100 horsepower ish. My buddy Josh built the motor. I did a good bit of the fab work on the cold side and the hot side stuff. Some of the parts were bought and he brought them over here, but nothing too crazy. It's kind of your everyday setup, but we know it works, so that's what we're gonna go with. Inside the car, we put a cage in it. I welded all the cage. It was a prefab cage from, I think Summit is where he bought it from, but I mean, it fits, it works, it's safe. So got the shifter and everything mounted, CO2 stuff for boost control and shifters. I did the wiring up here. It'll be on a Terminator X with the ARC 8000 control and stuff. It's got a Davis bump box in it and then CO2 boost control. But I'm still working on, I gotta finish putting the patch panels in the floor. We got the one back there, you can kind of see it. I got that one back there going over the rear suspension and everything. That one's in. I've got this one up here in. It's not welded in, but we'll get to it. I'm still gonna do the one over there and the back too. I've got my daughter's stuff out here. It's nice having my wife and my daughter out in the shop with me. But you can still see the panel in the back, battery relocation, parachute mount in the back. So now we'll walk over to my car, For those of you that know me, this is Rick Exotic. And for everybody that asks, what is Rick Exotic? That is Rick Exotic. It is a cross between Joe Exotic and Rick and Morty. So it was a meme I found on Facebook one day and just kind of ran with it. And then obviously you got Rick in the back. But so Friday we went to Beacon and we knew the car was making some crankcase pressure issues. I'll switch you guys around. The car was making crankcase pressure issues. It was making like 17 pounds. We knew there was a problem with it, but I decided I was gonna run it anyways. It was towards the end of the season, so we were gonna see what happened. Well, we found out what happened. It blew 2 head gaskets. So Friday we went to Beacon. We were loaded up and ready to go to Benton, Missouri. And we knew if something happened to the motor Friday night, we wouldn't be able to race Saturday, but we went anyways. Made 2 test passes. They were both okay, but we did have some coolant pressure issues, so I knew something was wrong. I chose to run the car anyways. We made it past first round, and then going into second round, we towed the car up there because it wasn't pushing water from the water pump. I'm pretty sure it locked up on me, but it wasn't pushing water in it. And then about the 330, 400 foot mark, it just blew coolant and water all over the windshield. So we let out of it and loaded it up in the trailer. But we ended up going to Benton, Missouri with our buddy Andrew and his family. It was still a good time, but unfortunately that was the end of our race season. So came back Sunday morning and the motor was out of the car Sunday night. And then I started tearing into it yesterday. I had every intentions of making this video before I pulled the motor out, but I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of got excited and anxious. I wanted to know what happened with it, and I pulled it out. So here is the car with the motor out. The motor is mostly tore down. I've got to get the rest of the rods out of it tonight and get the crank out. But everything on the bottom end looks good other than the head gaskets. So honestly, we probably could have just put head gaskets on it and sent it down its way, but that's just not what we're gonna do. So a little bit about the car. It's an 89 Fox body that I bought from some old lady. I've had this car almost 10 years. So when I bought it from her, it was a factory car. Still had a 5-liter, 5-speed, nothing crazy. Went to a blower motor and we ran a Novi 2000 on it for a while. And then from there, that motor lasted 2 years, I guess. And then I bought this motor from a buddy of mine, and then I started working on it and building that, and now we're just on a big single turbo. But it's got the TMZ tubular front end on it. It's pretty simple setup. It's a UPR cross member and control arms and everything. Viking double adjustables up front. Nothing too fancy, nothing crazy. Stock firewall. It's got a 400 in it with second gear leave and a PTC bolt together. It is an air to water intercooler, which I've built all the piping and everything. So pretty basic ARC 8000. It's on a Dominator. But plan is to rewire the car this year. I've got a smart wire setup, so I would like to use that. Maybe change up the traction control a little bit and go from there. Last winter I kind of wasted my time and had the car painted and tried to make it look good, and that was just a poor choice on my end. But whatever, it's done and over with. So the motor is a 351 small block Ford. I believe the guy's name is Ronnie Bessel. He is the one that originally did all the machine work on this. Yes, the intake is nasty, so YouTube engine builders, I know. I ground some gasket material to check fitment on the head. But Ronnie Bessel did the original engine work. I believe his name's Ronnie. He did the original machine work on it, and it's half filled. So it's got the billet caps on the bottom, which are sitting over here. It's got the billet main caps. It's a Eagle crank, I believe. I'm not sure. It's Eagle crank, Molnar power adder rods, a custom set of diamond pistons that they spec'd out and built for us, and then just some AFR heads that TKM did their fancy work on. They're sitting over there on the bench. So I'll show you those guys here in a minute. But you can kind of see where down here along the head gasket is where this side had blown out, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's some oil running down the side of the block right there. So kind of a telltale sign. And then over here you've got two other spots where it just was not happy. And I've had some issues burning oil the last couple months, so it was kind of aggravating and just time to get fixed. So, and here are the heads. I think the coolest thing about these heads is they did the O-rings on the exhaust, so there's no exhaust manifold gaskets, which makes a huge difference trying to put these manifolds on. But so winter upgrades are gonna be, like I said, I'm trying to rewire the car. Just sit back up on my bench. I'm trying to rewire the car with the smart wire. Obviously rebuild the motor. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can get it out to my buddy Devin's shop, and we're gonna do some top fuel hoops and copperhead gaskets. So hopefully we won't run into this issue next year. We're gonna cut some weight out of the car. The car's extremely heavy. I mean, even in no prep form, it's still real heavy. I won't say exactly how heavy it is, but it's pretty heavy. So we're gonna try and get as much weight out of it as we can. Rear mount the radiator. I gotta talk to the guys at Mazier and get with them, but we're gonna rear mount the radiator, and that should be about it. I really need to work on the chassis work a little bit and just make sure that it's set up the way it's supposed to. And then with the Monte Carlo, obviously we just got to finish it. I've got a list on top of the car right there that is slowly chipping away, but it's just a bunch of little stuff. I got to mount the doors and the deck lid, and get some interior sheet metal done, seats, seat belts, things like that. So I'll try and video some of the stuff. Some of it's just really monotonous work. It's not fun to watch. But hopefully that car will be done, I would say 2-3 weeks maybe. And then once that's done, I've got another buddy that's talking about bringing a 347 over that needs rebuilt. So hopefully get into that. I've got a 350Z that's supposed to come over and get a tubular front end made. I got a roll cage in it and maybe a rear mount radiator set up. And I've also got a 68 Mustang that's been sitting in here. It's not in here now, but it's been sitting in here for a couple of years that I really need to get on and at least get moving on it. When it comes back to the shop, I'll take a video and kind of show you guys around on that. But this channel is mostly going to be, like I said, just me kind of taping what I do and just some of the different projects. I'm horrible with taking pictures, so I guess the easiest thing to do is set up a GoPro and just time lapse and kind of explain what I can as I go. And then obviously next year when we get back to racing, then try and film some content of the races. But if we go to any races the rest of this year, we'll probably film something. But definitely, comment what you want to see. If there's something that you guys want to know, I'll do my best. Like I said, I'm not a master engine builder. I'm not a fabricator or master fabricator, whatever. I'll try and show you what I can. So definitely comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. If you know guys that are into the small block Ford stuff, share it with those guys. I know there's not a lot of guys running small block Fords and these no prep or drag cars anymore. Everybody's swapped over to LS stuff, but definitely not around here. I can't sell out just yet and go to an LS platform. So comment, like, subscribe, let me know, share it with your buddies. And hopefully we'll get some videos rolling and kind of show everything. Sorry about the bad camera skills. Hopefully as I film more of these, it'll get better. But like it, and then let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later.